Robin Westman was virtually unknown in Minneapolis before August 27, 2025. To most, she was just another face in the crowd, someone who moved quietly through the city's bustling streets, rarely drawing attention. Her name meant nothing to the people she passed each day, and her story was hidden behind closed doors and drawn curtains. She lived in near-complete isolation, her days blending into one another in a small, dimly lit apartment on the city's edge. Robin's life was marked by a constant struggle with identity and belonging, a battle that left her feeling invisible and misunderstood. She rarely spoke to neighbors, and her interactions with others were brief and guarded, as if she was always bracing for rejection. After transitioning from Robert to Robin in 2020, her internal battles only deepened. The journey to embrace her true self was fraught with pain, confusion, and a sense of loss. While the world outside saw a new name and a new face, inside, Robin wrestled with the scars of her past and the uncertainty of her future. The support she hoped for never materialized, and the acceptance she craved remained out of reach. Attempts to reach out to support groups and mental health services often ended in disappointment. Robin felt like an outsider even among those who shared similar experiences. The city's resources, though present, seemed distant and impersonal, leaving her to navigate her struggles alone. She remained a solitary figure, disconnected from community and support. Her days were spent wandering the city's streets or sitting in silence, haunted by memories and regrets. The isolation grew heavier with each passing year, and the walls she built around herself became harder to break down. Her private writings, discovered after the tragedy, reveal a descent into self-hatred, mental health decline, and extremist ideology. Page after page, Robin poured out her anguish, her anger, and her growing sense of hopelessness. The words she wrote were a window into a mind unraveling, desperate for connection but unable to find it. Robin's story is not just about her final act, but the years of alienation and pain that preceded it. Her journey was shaped by rejection, loneliness, and a longing for acceptance that was never fulfilled. The warning signs were there, hidden in plain sight, but went unnoticed by those around her. Her identity is now forever tied to the violence she unleashed at Annunciation Church. In a single moment, Robin went from being invisible to infamous, her name etched into the city's memory for all the wrong reasons. The community was left reeling, searching for answers in the aftermath of her actions. The tragedy she caused stands as a stark warning of what can happen when isolation and despair go unaddressed. Robin Westman's story is a painful reminder of the consequences of neglecting mental health and the importance of community, compassion, and support for those who feel alone. August 27, 2025, began as a normal day at Annunciation Catholic Church. Families gathered for Mass, unaware of the horror about to unfold. Robin Westman entered, deploying a smoke bomb and opening fire. The sanctuary became chaos, prayers replaced by screams. 2 children were killed, 17 others wounded. The attack was targeted, planned, and devastating. The community's sense of safety was destroyed in moments. The church, once a place of peace, became a symbol of loss. The pain and shock would ripple through Minneapolis for years to come. Hours before the attack that would shock her community, Robin Westman sat alone in her small apartment, the only light coming from her laptop screen. In the stillness of the night, she posted a lengthy manifesto online, her words echoing into the digital void. The post, which would later be discovered by investigators, was not just a simple message. It was a window into her troubled mind, a desperate attempt to be heard before everything changed. Written entirely in Russian, the manifesto was a confession of deep mental anguish and resignation. Robin poured her pain onto the page, her sentences heavy with sorrow and defeat. She described feeling trapped in a world that seemed indifferent to her suffering, and her words carried the weight of someone who had lost hope in finding relief. In the manifesto, Robin apologized to her family, expressing regret for the pain she knew she would cause. She admitted she expected no forgiveness, acknowledging the irreparable damage her actions would bring. Her apology was raw and unfiltered, a final message to those she loved but felt she could no longer reach. Her words revealed years of silent suffering, battles with depression, overwhelming hopelessness, and a growing sense of isolation. She described how these feelings had festered over time, slowly eroding her sense of self and her ability to connect with others. The manifesto traced the evolution of her despair, showing how it had gradually transformed into something darker, a desire for violence that she could no longer suppress. "I am not well, I am not right," she wrote, her handwriting shaky and uneven. She described a long-term decline, a slow unraveling of her mental health that left her feeling powerless and alone. Robin's words painted a picture of someone desperately seeking understanding, yet convinced that no one could truly comprehend the depth of her pain. The manifesto made it clear that the attack was not a sudden impulse, but a meticulously planned act. Robin detailed her preparations, outlining the steps she had taken, and the thoughts that had consumed her in the days leading up to the event. Her writing left no doubt. This was a premeditated act, the tragic culmination of years of inner turmoil. In a final haunting contradiction, Robin asked for prayers, not for herself, but for her future victims. She seemed to recognize the horror of what she was about to do, and in her last moments of clarity, she pleaded for mercy on their behalf. It was a chilling reminder of the humanity that still lingered within her, even as she prepared to cross an irreversible line. The document was both a cry for help and a chilling declaration of intent. It was a testament to the complexity of her emotions, a mixture of desperation, anger, and resignation. For those who would later read her words, it was impossible not to sense the depth of her suffering and the tragedy of a life spiraling out of control. Robin's manifesto showed a mind consumed by despair, yet fully aware of the horror she was about to inflict. She did not shy away from the consequences of her actions. Instead, she seemed to accept them as inevitable, the final act in a story she felt powerless to change. Her final words left behind a haunting record, a stark and painful chronicle of a life unraveling into violence. For those left to pick up the pieces, the manifesto would serve as both a warning and a lament, echoing the silent suffering that too often goes unnoticed until it is too late. Westman's videos, posted alongside her manifesto, revealed her radicalization. She displayed weapons defaced with hate symbols and references to infamous mass murderers. The videos included white supremacist gestures, racial slurs, and anti-religious imagery. She idolized past killers, aligning herself with a lineage of hate. Her arsenal became a visual manifesto, broadcasting her toxic worldview. These videos were her final public embrace of violence and bigotry. Westman's manifesto was saturated with sadness and a sense of irreversible damage. She described herself as a sad person, haunted by depression and self-loathing. She blamed the world for her transformation, externalizing her pain. "I have learned to hate what life is," she wrote, embracing nihilism. Her mental health struggles were candidly described, but hope was absent. The manifesto ended with a plea for prayers for her victims, a jarring contradiction. This final request highlighted the fractured psyche behind the violence. Her words were both a cry for help and a declaration of war on the world. Westman's videos cataloged her deadly preparations. Her arsenal was extensive, assembled with clear intent for mass harm. Investigators found a journal with a detailed map of Annunciation Church, showing tactical planning. Her weapons were defaced with hateful messages and names of past mass murderers. The inclusion of a smoke bomb showed her intent to maximize chaos. Each weapon was both a tool and a symbol of her ideology. The attack was not impulsive, it was meticulously planned. Her preparations revealed a cold, calculated mindset. The massacre was the culmination of months, if not years, of planning. Early warning signs emerged in Westman's childhood, recalled by classmate Josefina Sanchez. As Robert, Westman was isolated, obsessed with dark topics, and praised Hitler in class. He wrote in code, hiding his thoughts from others, a pattern that continued into adulthood. Sanchez remembers feeling uneasy but unsure how to respond. "I knew something was off, but I was a kid," she said, echoing the helplessness many feel. These memories highlight the difficulty of recognizing and acting on early red flags. The seeds of violence were sown long before the tragedy. Sanchez's regret is a painful reminder of missed opportunities for intervention. The story of Robin Westman is a powerful reminder of how crucial it is to recognize the subtle warning signs that often precede tragedy. In our daily lives, we may cross paths with people who are struggling, their pain hidden behind quiet gestures or withdrawn behavior. Sometimes the most important signals are the ones that go unspoken, lost in the noise of everyday life. Robin's experience urges us to look closer, to listen more carefully, and to never underestimate the impact of what remains unsaid. Behaviors like praising hate figures, withdrawing from friends and family, or showing sudden changes in mood are often dismissed or misunderstood. We might rationalize these actions as phases or personality quirks, but sometimes they are silent cries for help. The world can be quick to judge or turn away, leaving those in pain feeling even more isolated. It's easy to overlook the significance of these warning signs, especially when we're unsure of what to do or say. Those closest to troubled individuals often find themselves caught in a web of uncertainty. They may fear overreacting, damaging relationships, or being wrong about their concerns. The hesitation to speak up can be paralyzing, especially when the consequences of inaction are so hard to imagine. Yet, it is precisely in these moments of doubt that our voices matter most. Reaching out, even awkwardly, can make all the difference. Josefina Sanchez's regret is echoed in the aftermath of many tragedies. "I wish I could have said something." This haunting sentiment is shared by countless others who look back and wonder if a single conversation, a gentle question, or a word of support might have changed the outcome. The burden of unspoken words can linger for years, shaping the lives of those left behind. To prevent such regrets, we need clear and accessible systems for reporting concerning behavior and supporting those at risk. Communities must foster environments where people feel empowered to speak up without fear of judgment or reprisal. When we create spaces for open dialogue, we make it easier for individuals to seek help and for others to offer it. Education and confidential reporting channels are essential for early intervention. By teaching people how to recognize warning signs and providing safe, anonymous ways to share their concerns, we can intervene before a crisis escalates. Training teachers, parents, and community leaders to respond with empathy and action is a vital step toward prevention. Preventing violence means fostering connection and destigmatizing mental health conversations. When we encourage honest discussions about mental health and support those who are struggling, we build stronger, safer communities. Compassion and understanding can break the cycle of silence that so often precedes tragedy. Silence carries a heavy cost, as the community of Annunciation Church now knows all too well. The echoes of what was left unsaid linger in empty pews and candlelit vigils, reminding us that every voice matters, and every act of care can ripple outward in ways we may never fully see. The responsibility to act belongs to all of us. By choosing to speak up, to reach out, and to support one another, we can help prevent future tragedies and create a culture where no one's pain goes unnoticed or unheard. After the shooting, Minneapolis was left asking, why? Westman's manifesto revealed a toxic mix of mental illness, loneliness, and hate. Her despair was weaponized by extremist beliefs and online echo chambers. The tragedy highlights the urgent need for mental health support and early intervention. Healing will take years, but the lesson is clear. We must notice and help those in crisis. Robin Westman's story is a tragedy for her victims and for a life lost to darkness. Our challenge is to build a society where cries for help are heard before they become violence.